Hello everybody, we are back with another how-to video. I'd like to call Jimmy on up here with me. I think today we are making a tool rack, correct?
Yeah. Only because people were asking about the blue stuff.
That's right, yeah. I had a couple of questions about what that was, and I know that you made a few molds with that, so let's see what else you've done with it.
Let's show them what it is again.
Yeah, for sure.
The confusion was it's Green Stuff World, and the product I use is called Blue Stuff. And again, the fascinating thing is, last time we talked, I had cast the workbench legs.
That's right.
So I can take this upstairs and put it in hot water, and it'll turn to Play-Doh again. And I can rebuild it and remake it. And they wanted a little bit more detail. We should do a video on that maybe someday, making the castings. But
absolutely.
What I use is these boards with a little bit of silicone on it to form this. And I use simple nuts to create the height I'm looking for. In other words, if I were to put a product on here, and then today what we're going to do is show how this tool rack is made. Yeah, this little that'll hang in the pit wall. So I need a few dozen of those. So I started by taking the same Plastistructs we talked about before and a business card and making it in a certain size to scale so that it would fit the wall. And I was about to show you, when this gets warm enough, we can put this guy down just like that. And I use the nuts so that I don't crush it too far. And let's use smaller nuts, actually. That would be a better reference because those are too tall. You see, I have different nuts that I keep around just as height spacers. You know what I mean, Ryan?
Yeah, of course.
So that one... Because if I didn't, I could crush that right through and it won't work. So then, as this is hot, I'll put it down, put this on top of it, bring this down, and I'll push down on it. Put it in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes, be able to take this off, and I will end up with a mold, the same mold, which I've destroyed already to make the legs. So I don't have it to show you, but you get the idea how that's... Hopefully that's enough to answer people's questions on how I use the blue stuff. Or we can have a video actually showing how to make a mold.
Yeah, we'll see.
Do that later, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the original, and this is what ends up coming out of the mold. It's not too far from it. Maybe a little wavy. And then it's up to us to file it and get it to look as square and nice as we can. And like I touched on before, if you leave the corners super sharp, which this plastic is, the original was, it will not catch paint as well. You'll end up, it won't look realistic.
Yeah.
You know? So I found that I need to just scratch it a little bit. And the next thing I do on everything, as we talked about before, I paint it black. So I thought that since you asked about it, I would show you how I paint this a color. We didn't do that last time. We just had it already painted. Now in this case, I want to represent an aluminum frame on this tool case here, or tool rack. You'll note that a little black shows through, so all we need to do is mist it with a little silver. If you painted it solid silver, it'll look more like a toy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I paint everything flat black first. So let me come into here. I'll turn on the light. And I am not going to turn on the blower, though. Where is it?
Just for this special occasion, of course.
Yeah, right. There we go.
Now, you guys don't need a paint booth to do this. If you got, a porch or something, you could lay down some newspaper and do it there. You know?
I've got this paint booth. I really built this not for the racetrack. It was my boys were restoring 10-speed bikes when they were teenagers. So I built it. I put a blower on top of it. And it's been working wonderfully. I've got a furnace filter that stops the paint from going all the way up. So I can turn it on. I don't know if you can hear that. It's pretty loud, and it does pull in. But for what we're doing today, it's not going to be totally necessary. So what I'm going to do is I always take a I always save these things. I don't know if you guys get them.
Yeah.
You get coupons, and I never throw that trash mail away because this is what I use. I'm going to get this little fancy Lazy Susan. Brian, do you recognize that Lazy Susan?
Yes, I do. Look at that.
Do you recognize that?
Yeah, I've seen that before.
That was your grandma's.
Yeah.
She gave it to me.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You know, you get stuff at garage sales, you get people to give stuff to you. I mean, this is how you build this track for $300.
You're right. Okay, so I don't want that sitting all the way down because it isn't going to give me. The paint isn't going to go down where I want it to go. So I need to raise it a little bit. In the last session, we said save the tape.
There you go.
There it is, baby.
Tape's coming in handy here, right?
Okay, so it goes down. And then the silver paint I use, I got this right here. This is, remember I told you about the 2X paint?
Yes, yes.
I can always count on this stuff. Sometimes it plugs up if you don't shake it enough. So it's got to be shaken real good before we use it. In this case, I shook it up a little bit before we got rolling. Now, I'm only going to miss this. And I want the paint to just drop on it. I don't want it to get sprayed onto it. So let's see how good I can do.
Yes.
I'm going to start. And this is how I paint everything on the racetrack. Almost no more than that. I'm going to show you. Almost no more than that. The little black shows through, and it leaves a little shading around the edges. You see that? It's sort of a more natural thing. Now, I will shade this with chalk, graphite and stuff later, and then give it a coat of dull coat. Let me show you the fan that I set up here. My buddy Dave Beatty showed me this. It's so easy. I took a $15 fan right there, and I'll set that there. Normally that would take maybe a half hour before we can go on with it. Sitting it there now, in 30 seconds to a minute, it'll be done.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it'll dry. It's great. Including the fact that we just misted it on. While we do that, I can show you the tools. And this is the first time through this.
Yes.
What I did is I got a tool catalog and took a picture of the tools. And then I went to Staples and I reduced it. And I got it as small as I could get it to fit this.
Well, there you go.
And this fits this. But you know what? What do you guys like better? Here's an example of this done in color. But I don't know, it began to look a little cheesy to me. I'm beginning to like this. I'm not sure what to use.
Yeah.
But either way, actually just for this exercise, why don't we cut one of these out.
Cut a black and white.
And put it into that when it dries.
Right.
And we'll see how that works out.
So, leave in the comments below, you guys, which one you prefer, the color or the black and white.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, tell us.
That's a great idea.
And we'll pass it on, and
don't take too long because I want to get these done.
Time's ticking.
I got about 18 of them to do.
Time's ticking.
All right, so it's a simple matter of, that's my original. I don't want to do that. Here we go. That's my original, and these are the copies.
Come on over here.
So, when you get to, your first thought is that you want to do everything super accurately. Now, why won't that come up? That's the first time that ever happened. Normally, I take a ruler like this, and I'm being as careful as I can. But it doesn't show up. I mean, if you have a steady enough hand, I don't think it's going to be necessary. So I'm going to just pull this across. When I use my X-Acto knife, never bend your wrist, you only bend your bicep. So I'm pulling it towards Ryan, as you can see. I slip. And that's how you get the smoothest, cleanest cut. Now I don't want any white showing there. A lot of people will do this, and that's how you get it to be inaccurate. So I'm going to finish cutting this. Ryan, go see if that's dry. It should be dry by now.
Go take a look. Dry as a bone. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I was surprised too. I said to myself, first time that was introduced to me, how could I not have known that? No, right, just unplug it. It's real Fred Flintstone. Just unplug it. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's as simple as that.
Look at that. All right.
This guy has a little bit of white showing, so I want to get this right. So I'm going to take a pair of scissors. Note I have a pair of scissors that are not to be used for anything but stuff like this. My boys come down here and they start cutting leather or something with my good scissors. That's why I got 3 right here.
You got to have your backups,
Okay, so let's see how we did. What did we do with this glue right here? Tacky glue. I'll get the original. Let's have the one that the one that we're shooting for. So there isn't a top and a bottom on this. And note ahead of time when I had this made, I reduced it to the size I wanted just to fit in there. Now notice I got 2 different sizes here. Again, I cast 2 different sizes, so this is a simple matter now of just adding a little bit of this tacky glue here. Won't take long. Comes out. Come on, you.
Let me give it a shake here.
You know what? With my luck, you'll cover me with it. Just give it a shake. There you go. The heck's the problem here?
It's all right. It's
okay. There we go.
There we go.
All right. Now we don't want too much because what it does is wrinkle the paper. This is nothing but regular white paper. And I'm going to get a stick of some sort. Yeah, let's just use that. And I'm just going to spread it around inside there a little bit. All right, that's done. And now we carefully set that back in. As simple as that. Now we have a tool. Come on, you. We have a tool rack. I don't know, which one do you think looks more realistic there, guys?
Yeah, don't forget to tell us, guys, in the comments below which one you prefer.
Of course, one's bigger than the other, but sometimes I like the colored one, and sometimes I think the other one looks more to scale. But either way, we got them.
Very, very cool. That's awesome. Just one thing I wanted to ask you as well. I mean, you got a lot of tips and tricks here that I never would have thought of. I mean, how in the world do you come up with this stuff?
It's been, I'm 68. I've been modeling all my life, and I love to read magazines on it. And it's just through time and experience.
Yeah.
I know the shortcuts. There's a lot of modeling to do on the track, so I got to find the shortcuts, like casting pieces instead of assembling from scratch. So.
Yeah.
So these will be inside the pits. It'll be fun building the pit building to take them. But again, I got 18 of them to do.
Right. Still a lot to go and more to show in our updates.
Yeah.
All right, very nice. Well, thank you again for showing us how you do all this cool stuff.
I think it was a good idea to maybe go further with the blue stuff and show how molds are made.
Absolutely, yeah. If we can get back here another day soon, for sure, we're going to show them how to do those molds. Okay. So that'll be awesome. All right. Thank you guys for joining us again. Be sure to leave, like, comment, and subscribe if you like this sort of content. And we are signing off.